Hello, this is the Provoked Prawn and this is the Logitech G915 TKL in white. This is the white version of a keyboard that I've already tested out. I reviewed and unboxed the black variant and I knew the white one was coming and I was really excited for it, but it was a secret until now. They only just released it recently and it is a magnificent bit of kit. For reference, I'll leave the links in the description to the original unboxing and review of the previous version, and this one has the GL Tactile keys in it, so I'm also going to do a video separately to compare both the white and the black and the differences between the GL Tactile seen here and the GL Clicky on the original one that I tried out. If you don't know already, the G915 TKL is a fantastic wireless gaming keyboard that has a number of awesome features to it that include up to 40 hours of battery life with the RGB lighting turned on, or 1,124 hours without it turned on, which is 135 days of standard use. It has a Lightspeed wireless dongle that I'll show you in a minute, multimedia keys that you can see on the top left there, and it also has low profile mechanical switches that are half the height of the traditional ones, and as I said, they're available in 3 different variants, and I'll leave all the information on those specifications in the description as well. As you'd expect from a Logitech product, you also have LightSync RGB lighting. It works in G-Hub, so you can customize all the settings in there, and it has this brilliant aircraft grade aluminium alloy frame, which is incredibly nice looking, even more so on this white and silver one versus the original black one, and it's very nice. You can also have 3 onboard memory profiles and just a lot of snazzy goodness, including macro keys programmed into the top F keys, so F1, F2, F3, F4, so you can customize that in the G-Hub software as well. I said in the previous unboxing and review video that I'm not generally a fan of TKL keyboards, but this one is absolutely fantastic. The G915 TKL comes with this tiny Lightspeed dongle and an adapter that allows you to plug it in and extend the range of it with the included cable. But the highlights for me are almost certainly that design, low profile design, low slung frame, low thin keycaps and switches means that it sits really close to the desk. It's also very satisfying to type on all day and great for gaming as well. The tactile variant is actually preferable for me. It's a bit quieter, feels a bit more comfortable to use, and has some awesome results. I'm going to do a separate video with just the actuation sound so you can get an idea of that, and as I said, I'll be doing a comparison video between the two as well as a separate one so you can hear the difference between the clicky and the tactile to get an idea of what that sounds like. So check out the description for links to those videos and be sure to subscribe if you've not already to check out the goodness. But here you can just hear that tactile in the background. It's not terribly loud. The clicky ones are obviously a little bit louder and much more clicky, but the tactile ones are great, I've found, for using while streaming, for example. The sound of them isn't just picked up, even when you get quite aggressive with gameplay and you're mashing keys trying to get out of the way in an FPS game, for example. You don't really get heard as much, so it results in a really nice look and feel. The other thing that I complained about with the black version, and it'd be interesting to see how this one holds up over time, is that the keys became quite greasy looking after a bit of use. Obviously oil from your fingers goes on the top of the keycaps and it doesn't look as good. I don't think you're going to have the same problem with the white one because they're a lot cleaner looking. I've been using this one for a couple of weeks now, obviously not in this footage but in general, and they still look really good quality and clean. It looks a lot cleaner basically, and it feels a lot nicer in terms of the tactile response from the key switches as well, but just generally it looks like it'll be nicer. Whether it will still be nice in a year's time or not, well, obviously it's going to be a test to find out. However, I do think these are fantastic. You can see the difference here between the two, and the white one just stands out a lot more. It's a very nice looking keyboard. Not to say the black one isn't though. I really thought very highly of it. They're both very good keyboards, very solidly designed. You can really feel the quality of the build in that frame. You are paying a lot of money for it. It's a very expensive keyboard, but you do get what you pay for. You've got a solid aluminium frame and a really nice design. Insane battery life, as I said, up to 135 days is what they say, which is nuts. That is with the RGB lighting turned off. And one of the complaints I had with the black version was when the RGB lighting was turned off, you couldn't really see the lettering on the keyboard very easily. The problem isn't there with the white one as much. you can definitely see the keys just as easily, so it's fine. It's possible to have the RGB lighting turned off on this one, so you can make the battery last a lot longer. And that is great as well, because that battery life is insane anyway. Even with the RGB lighting turned on, it goes on and on and on, and it takes forever for you to have to plug it in, which is fantastic. Comes with a braided micro USB cable for charging purposes, which, you know, why not USB-C? But it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's a nice cable, it plugs in nice and easily. That's a 1.8 meter 6 foot micro USB charging cable, so it's got a decent amount of length to it and can plug in easily to your PC without much of a problem. You can see just how low profile and thin the keyboard is here and what the size is like in the hand. Obviously a bit of a niggle missing the numpad, but if you're looking for a compact keyboard that will sit nicely on your desk and not take up too much room, then this is definitely it. It looks absolutely amazing, really nice design. Underneath you obviously have the feet to adjust the height of it and get an angle if you prefer. I personally like laying it down flat. I find that to be very comfortable during the day. Your hands aren't raised up too far as they would be with a chunkier keyboard, so it leads to a very comfortable feel all day long. I use it all day for work and then go into the night with gaming, and it's been fantastic. Up close and personal, you can see the RGB lighting comes through nicely as well. That shines through not only the keys but the G logo at the top. And you will also note, as I said earlier in the video, this is wireless and Bluetooth, same as the black version. So basically you can plug in that dongle to your PC and get a 1 millisecond response time from the low latency Lightspeed wireless connectivity, or you can press the Bluetooth button and connect to another device, so for example a laptop or something with ease as well. I really also like having those media playback buttons, the volume control wheel there, very comfortable, easy to use, really nice design again. It all looks absolutely amazing. Hopefully you'll agree with that. Up close and personal to it, you can see what I was talking about as well with the low keycap and key switch design. It sits very low, everything's low profile. It's interesting because it's kind of small and low, so it sits and it's understated in that way, but also obviously because of the white and the aluminium, it stands out too. So it's a very stylish looking keyboard with a really good quality, really good comfort, and loads of great design features to it. One of the niggles you might have is there's no dedicated macro keys. The keys are within the function keys, first 4 function keys, so you can't reprogram every key on the keyboard, but that's a minor thing. Personally, I don't use macros that much anyway, so it's not a major issue, but if you are a macro user, then you might find that a problem. This is one of the nicer looking keyboards I've seen in terms of the RGB lighting and just the overall design of it. The Roccat Vulcan 122 is another nice looking keyboard with a similar sort of style to this. And I also really like the Apex Pro, which I'm going to be doing a comparison with on this. The Apex Pro TKL in the near future hopefully will be compared with this as well, so stick around for that too. That volume wheel is very satisfying and comfortable to use. Now, removing the keycaps, you'll see that these are KL switches, and I have done videos previously on the modular keyboard from Glorious PC Master Race and being able to remove the key switches in that. Obviously you can't remove the key switches here, but you do have the option of 3 different potential choices of key switch types: the clicky, the linear and the tactile. Here you can see a close-up with those tactile switches. Without the housing on, they're actually insanely quiet. You'll barely notice any sound at all, and you really do feel that when you're using it as well. Very quiet, very easy to use, very satisfying, comfortable on the fingers. You get a satisfying response from it still because it is tactile, so you can feel it when you're pressing it, but you don't have that clicky noise, so it's a lot quieter unless you get really angry with the keys and start bashing and mashing. However, of course, because there's low profile design, you aren't going to easily find any custom keycaps, so you're not going to be able to switch out those keycaps for something else necessarily. But whether you'd want to or not anyway, these white ones are very nice quality and look fantastic too. You can see one of the complaints I had previously actually was the potential for these to snap, though, if you're not careful with them. If you're trying to remove them, you look at those legs that stick in there, they look quite thin and flimsy and feel like they would probably break if you were taking these in and out a lot. That isn't something you're likely to do though, thanks to that raised keycap design. Fairly easy to use some compressed air to blow underneath and clean out the dust and dirt without too much fuss. Another close-up with the keyboard and you can see that brushed aluminium backplate. Heavy, hefty, very nice, not moves around on the desk too much, sits nicely and looks fantastic. A very nice brushed finish to it that really stands out. And that is one of the highlights, I think. As I said, very expensive keyboard, but with a fantastic design to match it. Whether that's enough for you, it's obviously a personal preference. However, it has so many other features and great specifications to it that is well worth considering. Now, another look at the dongle. This is a tiny little Lightspeed wireless dongle, and I talked about this earlier on and previously. It basically plugs into your PC and allows for a really fast and easy connection, and you can plug that in on the underside of the keyboard when not in use. So it's just a little storage spot underneath the keyboard where you can store the dongle so you don't lose it. So if you're plugging in the keyboard to charge, for example, or you want to take it with you somewhere and use it with a laptop, for example, easy to do. The accompanying cable is also a nice bit of kit. Everything about this keyboard is a very premium design with all the Logitech goodness to it. Hope you found this video useful. Be sure to check out the other videos in the description as well as specifications, and let me know what you think in the comments if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. This has been The Provoked Prawn. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Hope you found it useful, interesting, hilarious, or all of the above. Be sure to check out the description for other information you might find interesting, and subscribe and watch these other videos as well that I think might be useful to you, and have a great life.